Welcome to IELTS.net podcast. How to ace the IELTS speaking task, describing a time you learned from failure. Learning from failure is a crucial life skill that IELTS examiners often explore in the speaking test. This topic allows candidates to demonstrate their ability to reflect on experiences, express emotions, and articulate personal growth. Let's dive into how you can effectively tackle this subject and impress your examiner. Part 1. Introduction and Interview. In this section, the examiner may ask general questions about failure and learning experiences. Here are some potential questions and sample answers. Q. Do you think failure is important in life? Band 6-7 answer. Yes, I believe failure is quite important. It helps us learn from our mistakes and improve ourselves. Without failing sometimes, we might not know how to get better at things. Band 8-9 answer. Absolutely. I'd go as far as to say that failure is indispensable in life. It serves as a catalyst for personal growth and often paves the way for innovation. Without experiencing failure, we might never push our boundaries or discover our true potential. It's through overcoming setbacks that we develop resilience and adaptability, which are crucial skills in both personal and professional spheres. How do you usually react when you fail at something? Band 6-7 answer. When I fail, I usually feel disappointed at first. But then I try to think about what went wrong and how I can do better next time. It's not always easy, but I try to stay positive. Band 8-9 answer. My initial reaction to failure is typically a mixture of frustration and disappointment. However, I've trained myself to quickly shift into a more analytical mindset. I strive to view failures as valuable data points rather than personal shortcomings. This approach allows me to dissect the experience objectively, identifying specific areas for improvement and formulating a strategy to enhance my performance in future attempts. Ultimately, I've found that this constructive attitude towards failure has been instrumental in my personal and professional development. Part 2. Long Turn. Here's a sample cue card related to the topic. Describe a time when you learned from failure. You should say what the failure was, when and where it happened, why you failed, and explain what you learned from this experience. Sample answer, Band 6-7. I'd like to talk about a time when I failed an important exam at university. It happened during my second year in the economics department. I was really confident going into the exam because I thought I knew the material well. The reason I failed was because I didn't manage my time properly during the test. I spent too much time on the first few questions and didn't have enough time to finish the last part, which was worth a lot of marks. This experience taught me the importance of time management. I learned that knowing the material isn't enough. You also need to be strategic about how you use your time in an exam. After this, I started practicing with timed mock tests to improve my skills. It was a tough lesson, but it helped me do much better in future exams. I'm actually grateful for the experience now because it made me a better student overall. Sample answer, Band 8-9. I'd like to recount a pivotal moment in my academic journey when I experienced a significant setback. During my sophomore year at university, I faced an unexpected failure in a crucial economics examination. This event took place in the grand examination hall of our economics department, a setting that only served to amplify the gravity of the situation. Going into the exam, I was brimming with confidence, perhaps even bordering on complacency. I had immersed myself in the course material and felt I had a firm grasp on the concepts. However, my downfall came not from a lack of knowledge, but from a critical oversight in my exam strategy. The crux of my failure lay in poor time management. I allowed myself to become engrossed in the initial questions, meticulously crafting responses without keeping an eye on the clock. This lack of foresight left me scrambling to complete the final section, which unfortunately carried a significant portion of the marks. This experience served as a wake-up call, illuminating the fact that academic success is not solely dependent on subject knowledge. It underscored the importance of strategic thinking and efficient time allocation. The lesson was crystal clear. Even the most well-prepared student can falter without proper exam technique. In the aftermath of this failure, I embarked on a journey of self-improvement. I began rigorously practicing with timed mock exams, honing my ability to balance thoroughness with time constraints. This newfound approach not only improved my performance in subsequent exams, but also equipped me with a valuable life skill. Reflecting on this experience, I now view it as a blessing in disguise. It catalyzed a significant shift in my study habits and overall approach to challenges. The lessons learned from this failure have proven invaluable, extending far beyond my academic life and serving me well in various professional scenarios where time management and strategic thinking are paramount. Follow-up questions. How did this experience change your approach to studying? Do you think failure is perceived differently in your culture compared to others? Can you think of any famous people who have learned from failure? Part 3. Two-way discussion. Q. How do you think schools should teach students to deal with failure? Band 6-7. Answer. I think schools should include lessons about failure in their curriculum. They could use examples of famous people who failed before succeeding to inspire students. Teachers should also encourage students to try new things without fear of failing. Band 8-9. I believe schools have a crucial role to play in equipping students with the tools to handle failure constructively. Firstly, they should work towards destigmatizing failure by framing it as an integral part of the learning process rather than a negative outcome. This could involve incorporating case studies of renowned individuals who encountered significant setbacks before achieving success, thereby illustrating the iterative nature of progress. Furthermore, schools should actively cultivate a growth mindset among students. This involves teaching them to view challenges as opportunities for development rather than insurmountable obstacles. Practical exercises that allow students to experience and reflect on failure in a safe environment could be incredibly beneficial. For instance, project-based learning, where the emphasis is on the process and lessons learned, rather than solely on the end result, could be highly effective. Lastly, I think it's essential for schools to provide robust emotional support and teach emotional intelligence. This would help students navigate the complex feelings often associated with failure, such as disappointment and self-doubt, in a healthy manner. By equipping students with these skills, schools can help create resilient individuals who are well prepared to face the inevitable ups and downs of life. In what ways do you think failure in personal life differs from failure in professional settings? Band 6-7. Answer. I think failure in personal life can be more emotional because it affects our relationships and self-esteem. Professional failures might have more practical consequences, like losing a job or missing a promotion. But both types of failure can teach us important lessons. Band 8-9. Answer. The distinction between personal and professional failures is indeed multifaceted and nuanced. In my view, the primary difference lies in the scope of impact and the nature of the consequences. Failures in one's personal life often have a more profound emotional impact. They tend to strike at the core of our identity and can significantly affect our self-perception and relationships with loved ones. For instance, a failed marriage or a strained friendship can lead to deep-seated emotional turmoil and may require extensive introspection and personal growth to overcome. On the other hand, professional failures, while certainly not devoid of emotional impact, often have more tangible and immediate consequences. These might include financial repercussions, damage to one's professional reputation, or missed career advancement opportunities. The stakes in professional settings are often more clearly defined, and the metrics for success or failure are typically more objective. However, it's important to note that the line between personal and professional failures can often be blurred, especially in today's world where work-life balance is increasingly emphasized. A professional failure can spill over into one's personal life and vice versa. Interestingly, the way we process and learn from these failures can also differ. Professional failures might lead to more structured, skill-based learning, such as acquiring new competencies or changing strategies. Personal failures often result in more introspective learning, leading to emotional growth and shifts in perspective or values. Ultimately, while the nature and consequences of personal and professional failures may differ, both offer valuable opportunities for growth and self-improvement. The key lies in approaching both types of failure with a growth mindset, seeing them as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks in our journey of personal and professional development. Key vocabulary and phrases for high scores. Pivotal moment, meant noun phrase, a crucial or decisive point in time. Example, failing that exam was a pivotal moment in my academic career. To amplify, verb, to increase in intensity or effect. Example, the pressure of the exam setting amplified my anxiety. To immerse oneself, phrasal verb, to involve oneself deeply in an activity or interest. Example, I immersed myself in studying for weeks before the exam. Crux, noun, the decisive or most important point at issue. Example, the crux of my failure was poor time management. To embark on a journey, idiom, to start a new course of action or experience. Example, after failing, I embarked on a journey of self-improvement. Blessing in disguise, an apparent misfortune that eventually has good results. Example, my exam failure turned out to be a blessing in disguise. To cultivate, verb, to try to acquire or develop a quality or skill. Example, schools should cultivate a growth mindset in students. Multifaceted, adjective, having many different aspects or features. Example, the distinction between personal and professional failures is multifaceted. Examiner's advice. To excel in the IELTS speaking test, particularly when discussing topics like learning from failure, use personal experiences, draw from real-life situations to make your answers more authentic and detailed. Demonstrate reflection. Show that you can analyze experiences and draw meaningful conclusions. Employ a variety of vocabulary. Use synonyms and idiomatic expressions to showcase your language skills. Structure your answers. Organize your thoughts logically, especially in Part 2's long turn. Practice time management. Ensure you can cover all points within the given time, particularly in Part 2. Show emotional intelligence. Discuss how you handle emotions associated with failure. Link to broader themes. In Part 3, connect your personal experiences to wider societal issues. Be prepared to elaborate. Be ready to expand on your answers if the examiner asks follow-up questions. Remember, the key to success in the IELTS speaking test is not just about what you say, but how you say it. Confidence, fluency, and the ability to express complex ideas clearly are all crucial factors in achieving a high band score. For more tips on acing your IELTS speaking test, you might find these articles helpful. Describe a time when you tried a new activity that challenged you. Describe a difficult task that you completed at work or study that you felt proud of. Describe a time when you had to deal with disappointment. By following these guidelines and continuously practicing, you'll be well prepared to discuss learning from failure and other challenging topics in your IELTS speaking test. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you enjoyed this episode and found it helpful, make sure to follow our channel so you don't miss out on more valuable content coming your way. We've got a lot of exciting topics lined up, and we'd love for you to be part of the journey. Hit that follow button and stay connected with us for more insights and inspiration. See you in the next episode.